Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Beer 30 Beer Reviews with me, your host, Big Dub. Got a couple nice beers up here, got my iPad up here. Reason for that, yesterday was the NBA draft, so I figured I'd ask social media, friends, family, kind of what their favorite draft was or beer. So I'm going to give some shout outs to people, let you guys know what their favorite beers are. I want you to tell me your favorite beers as well so I can try them out here in the future. So please comment below with what your favorite beers are. I asked everyone kind of for their top three, so feel free to give me three or more. And if I can find them, be happy to try them out for you. But yeah, also subscribe, like, hit that bell, get those alerts. But in front of us we have, from Crane Brewing, we have their Tea Weiss. And from Hop Butcher for the World, we have their Dun Dun Dun. It is a double IPA. The Tea Weiss here is a Weiss beer, obviously. And it is brewed with tea, so it should be a little interesting. So first off, going to the first comment we had was actually from my dad. We got to give him a little trouble. I've been working with him hard on his beer game. First one I'm all right with, Boulevard's Unfiltered Wheat. One of my all-time favorites as well. One of the first beers I really got started on. But then he drops in Mick Ultra. What is that, Dad? I said beers, not water. And then Blue Moon. Then he also said IPAs would be undrafted free agents. He does not like them, but I'm slowly getting him to try them, and he's liked a few of them here and there. But as we continue to go down the list, let's continue on with trying the beers. First, we're going to go with Dun 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 by Hop Butcher. Double IPA. They use the Amarillo, Citra, and Galaxy hops for this one. So pretty excited. I also asked a Chicago beer enthusiast, and this beer itself came up multiple times in a lot of people's top threes. So I'm very excited to see what it does taste like. So if you remember before when we did talk about IPAs, double IPAs, we went over that before, but they just, use double hop it and stuff like that. So they hop twice during the process. Gives it that more cloudy look. It's not as see-through, not as clear, so you can expect a little heavier mouthfeel, little thicker taste to it, and hopefully some hoppiness. On the nose, you get some sweetness with that hoppiness that you expect from a double IPA. All right, I can see why a lot of people enjoy that beer. It is very refreshing for an IPA. It's not as heavy, doesn't carry the bitterness and overwhelming hoppiness that you'd expect, but you get a lot of sweetness from those different hops. So it starts with some sweetness, then it gets those hops drawn in on the back end for you, but it's very, very easy drinking, goes down very smooth. It's not heavy at all, as I thought it would be looking how thick it was. So rather surprised, and I can see why people would put that on their list. All right, going down the list, another buddy of mine, he listed New Holland's Dragon's Milk. Always a great beer. I know that's a lot of people's go-to when they're looking for a milk stout or a darker beer of that style. Then Bell's Two Hearted, a very widely known IPA, always rated one of the best in the country. So I can see that. And then he's going Boulevard Tank 7, as long as it's not in a can, or Deschutes Fresh Squeezed IPA. He says, as long as they're not in a can, he wants bottle or draft. And that brings me to something as well. There's many different ways you can drink beers, out of the bottle, out of the can, or a draft. And a lot of people have different opinions on what tastes better, what they prefer. Me, I love it in the glass or on tap. Reason being, as you're drinking it, like I did before, you get the full aroma as you're drinking it. The nose is taking that in. If you're drinking from a can or bottle, you're actually smelling the can itself, so you might get aluminum smelling or the glass smell. So it might just hinder the taste just a bit. So if you can pour it into a glass and enjoy it that way, please do. You're going to get the aromas and the full taste and effect that the brewers are wanting you to get with it. All right, moving on to Crane's Tea Weiss here. Kind of interesting to see here how a Weiss beer mixed with tea is going to go. As you can see, it's very heady. Wasn't the best pour on my part though either, so we'll let that die down. Move on down the list here. My cousin, he goes Boulevard Tank 7. Then he goes Pliny the Elder, which is one I would love to try. I've not been able to get my hands on it. I know it's tough to get it even out in California where he lives, but it is definitely on my bucket list of beers. and Lizard Mouth IPA. Now, also, he says depending on his mood, he could go for Fog Breaker, or Great White could move into his top 3 as well. So it sounds like he has number 1 and 2 pretty solidified, but in that third position, it all can depend on what his needs are on the bench there. So, but again, please tell me your favorites. Would love to know what you enjoy, what you like drinking, so I can try it out as well. So I'm getting a little tea smell, but I'm also getting some sourness notes from this. It's not giving me the normal Weiss sweetness that you kind of expect. Has a little tartness to it. Very mild with the tea flavor, but it's pretty tart. It's really tasty. Has a little fruitiness to it as well. So it's got a fruity, light tea tartness flavor to it that I'm really digging and enjoying. So well done, Crane. Really enjoyed that. Put these two up here so you guys can take a look at what they both look like. Please go out, find these. Go over one more. Buddy I used to work with now lives in Iowa. He said Pulpit's Rock Pour Over Porter, Big Grove Easy Eddie, then Microphone Smells Like Bean Spirit. So those are their top 3s. For me personally, I got to go old school for my first one. The first beer that really got me in love with craft beer, which is Boulevard's Unfiltered Wheat, one of my all-time favorites. If I can find that, I'll drink it almost any time. It just reminds me of home and reminds me a lot of happy times. And it is a beer that really kick-started me going down the road here with craft beer. Next is the Victory's Tart Monkey, Sour Monkey. It is so good. It's one of the only beers I've rated a 10 out of 10. It's one of my favorite sours of all time. Both of those are great, amazing, excellent beers. So those are my top 2. Number 3, man, there's so many good beers out there, so it's really hard to decipher which one would be my third one. But if I had to go with something, man, I'm going to go with, going back to Boulevard's Tank 7, that Farmhouse Saison Ale. I love it so much. Right behind it will be Hennepin from Ommegang, another great farmhouse ales. So, I mean, I love sours. I love the Farmhouse Saison, and Tank 7 and Ommegang's Hennepin are both that. So those are kind of where mine, but it's ever evolving, ever changing. There's so many beers out there that are very good, very delicious. So venture out, keep trying, and again, send me your top 3. Let me know, and I'll try them out. But going back to these, this is a very delicious double IPA. Could see why so many people in the Chicago area rate it as one of their favorite Chicago beers. Going 9 out of 10 on that one. Very, very good. If you can find anything from Hop Butcher, if you're an IPA fan, find it, drink it, enjoy it. From Crane, their Tea Weiss. Very surprised by the flavors, the fruitiness, the tartness, the very mild tea flavor. And I'm not a fan of teas, so I was glad that that wasn't overwhelming. I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. Both of these beers excellent. Again, subscribe, like, hit that bell, get those notices. And until next time, cheers. Bye.